Hello and welcome. I'm joined by Ami Daniel, CEO and co-founder of Windward. Thanks so much for joining me.
Pleasure. Good morning from Singapore. It's going to be a great day, great week.
Exactly. So Windward has been a key player in the maritime sector for over a decade.
Hopefully.
Can you tell us
Working
about
on it.
Windward and the value it brings to the industry?
Of course. So first of all, thank you for having me. Great to be here in Singapore Maritime Week. Windward is the leading maritime AI company in a world an industry that is pretty traditional, but still moves 90% of global trade, I think. Oil and bulk and containers. We're, I think, the only company focused on applying AI to reduce risk and increase revenue to our customers. We support more than 250 companies and organizations in the world, and we can talk more about that, but the future is bright. I think hopefully also the present is bright.
And with the sector facing challenges unlike anything we've really witnessed before, what do you see as the biggest challenges to the industry today?
I think unpredictability is a big challenge. I woke up this morning and I saw that President Trump announced 25% tariffs on every country that imports oil from Venezuela. But usually these sanctions are on companies, not on countries. So who can really do it and apply it? And I've looked at the data, and Europe imported about a couple hundred cargoes from Venezuela, China about almost 100 in last year. So it's a really big thing, this unpredictability. We wake up every day today to more tariffs, more sanctions, more geopolitics, Red Sea yes, Red Sea no, weather and talent. I think executives need to keep delivering while being very, very agile. And on top of that, you have AI. It's absolutely going to transform the world. So I think it's a time where everybody needs to change, how they change and what they do, and do they only do this with legacy technology, and how much they educate themselves and who they do need around them. I think that's an interesting discussion.
And with so much complexity and uncertainty, as you just mentioned, what role does technology play in helping maritime stakeholders navigate this chaos?
Yeah, I think first of all, there's a bread and butter, right? When I think number one, you need to make sure, if you look at the business of maritime, specifically bulk, I think you should look at pre-fixture and post-fixture. And I think this is TradeWinds. I'm allowing myself to be a bit, use industry words.
Please do.
The pre-fixture side, I think, is complicated. It takes a lot of time today. Who are you doing business with? This is screening for compliance and maritime security, which has become a thing, and credit risk and safety risk, and doing that decision quickly, not in 20 hours or 24 hours, but nailing in a couple minutes before the rates go up. I think that's a challenge, and I think AI can play a big role there. There's also a post-fixture side, which is after you fix the vessel, how do you manage the voyage and the demarge and the tension? I think AI is also playing a big part there. And last but not least, in my view, we're looking at a revolution of the workforce. Today, people like us, I have about a couple hundred employees. I believe in a year time, I'll have bots and I'll allow myself to have 10,000 employees. And that will increase productivity in a gigantic, humongous way we've never seen before. So I think it's a big opportunity, but it's also a big risk, and you kind of need to navigate that. But I think it's always been the case, right? As a leader, you need to lean in and figure it out. I think Lee Kuan Yew said it. I listened yesterday to the senior minister of Singapore deliver a speech, and he said that 60 years ago, in the opening of the first berth of the Singapore port, Lee Kuan Yew said, "Good things don't fall from the sky, they happen to those who work hard and for a long time." And we're in Singapore, so I have to spice it up.
And you've been talking about AI, so let's go into that a bit more.
Let's do that.
It's evolving rapidly, and we're seeing major developments.
Super rapidly.
But what does the future of AI look like in the maritime industry in particular?
Yeah, I think first of all, AI is moving at a breakneck pace. I think you're looking at 70 times the yearly investment in the Manhattan Project and 40 times the yearly investment in the Apollo Project. Okay, so it's nothing like we've ever seen before. Whoever tells you it's the same is bloody wrong. It's not the same. Even for us and for me, it takes about 10-20% of my time just to keep up with everything that's happening. So I think it's a big revolution. What does it look like in the future of maritime? My view, number one, you will relook at processes. AI should work for us. We don't work for AI. So number one, we should look at processes. We should look how we can dramatically accelerate pre-fixture and post-fixture. I think that's number one. How can you get better market intelligence, take better decisions? I think absolutely that's a big thing. And digital workforce, the maritime industry is abundant with tedious, repetitive actions. And a lot of companies have big BPOs which is hundreds of people in the Philippines or in Vietnam or South Africa, wherever, doing tedious, repetitive actions, that for sure can be automated. And last but not least, your data is your advantage. So I think we're moving from a world where companies expect people like us to give them all the data and the decisions, to people understanding that every company like us and like other good companies have a very crucial part of data, but that's part. You need to piece all that together and apply AI on top of that, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And one final question.
Yeah.
For companies looking to stay ahead in this changing landscape that we've just spoken about,
Yep.
what's your advice on leveraging AI to gain a competitive edge?
First of all, it's the CEO, it's on you. It's not anybody else. Don't look right, don't look left. I think I've read a McKinsey article, an analysis that says that the key ingredient in AI products succeeding, number one key thing is the CEO. And like I am leading it personally for my company, any CEO should lead it for their company. So I think first of all, the CEO should own it. There's no delegating it to anybody else, because you need the owner of the business to reimagine a lot of things. Secondly, work from the end backwards. Where do you want to be in 3 to 5 years? What are your big leverages? Where can you save a lot of money or make a lot of money? And work back from there in a methodical, step-by-step way. You should build some of it your own. You should partner with companies like us for some of it. Nobody knows everything, but work with people who you trust and have a credible roadmap, credible delivery, credible organization. And I think it's never been a better time to build a technology, specifically in the maritime space.
Thank you so much for your time and insights today. Truly invaluable.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.